Hello everyone. We are here today to present our work for the supply chain SDG competition. But first, our team is composed of 4 members: Clara, Lucie, Nicolas, and myself, Alexandre. To start, I will give you a quick overview of the project we have been working on, the African Transportation Research Alliance case study. The challenge right now is the increasing number of empty containers in Africa. This is largely due to high imports of manufactured goods, but relatively low exports. Our goal is to address this issue by introducing sustainable, efficient container management solutions that support both logistics and environmental goals. Now, let's look at our table of contents. First, we will introduce our solution. After that, we present to you an innovative container concept. Next, we will dive deeper into the detail and explain how we plan to put it into action. We will cover a flow map, a value stream map, and discuss the production methods required. After that, we will look at how blockchain can play a role. And finally, we'll conclude with our sustainable development goals and a conclusion.
So first, let's start with solution overview. Our objective is to transform container management in Africa to reduce environmental impact and enhance efficiency. For this, we offer you innovative approaches. First of all, there are the foldable containers, which will make it possible to transport 5 times more containers, reducing CO2 emission and storage space. Then there is a blockchain technology, which enables transport tracking and resource sharing, optimizing logistics and reducing costs. Finally, there is a creation of recycling facilities for container transformation. The aim is to convert all containers in new foldable model, promoting a circular economy and creating local jobs. So now let's talk about our innovative container solution, which are foldable containers. As you can see on the picture, the containers are stacked in groups of 5. The handling to fold the container is done using a forklift. These foldable containers provide many key benefits, such as the reduction in CO2 emission, because by reducing the number of trips necessary to transport empty containers, foldable containers allow shipping companies to reduce their fuel consumption, their transport cost, and their CO2 emission. In the long term, this will help in the fight against global warming by aligning the maritime sector and with the sustainability objectives. These foldable containers save space and help reduce port congestion. In many ports and warehouses, space is a valuable resource, and empty containers take up large area, which can quickly fill up logistics facilities. Inefficient storage and also reduces productivity and increases costs. When folded, these containers take up about 1/5 of their usual size. This allows multiple containers to be stored in the space of a single standard container. As a result, more containers can fit in a limited space, reducing storage costs, freeing up space for other activities, and make it easier to manage container flows at ports.
Okay, so now let's talk about the flow map. So on the right, you can see a map of Africa showing the main ports, including South Africa, Nigeria, and Alexandria in Egypt. To determine the best location for our recycling plant, we use barycenter method, considering not only the proximity to ports, but also the geopolitical need to avoid road transportation routes whenever possible. This led us to 3 main locations: a proof of concept recycling plant in Walvis Bay, Namibia, near the coast and accessible by short sea shipping; a second recycling plant in Dakar, Senegal, also on the coast and reachable by short sea shipping; and a third recycling plant in Lusaka, Zambia, accessible by land routes when necessary. So this is an idea that could also be implemented in the Horn of Africa. And all this location ensures that our recycling operation remain efficient and resilient despite regional challenges. So now I'm gonna present to you the value stream mapping. So this slide shows us the container management process for our recycling plants from supplier to final client. So it starts with containers being delivered from suppliers to the African ports, where they are then transported by road to the container yard. So from the CY, as seen previously, containers are moved by short shipping to the recycling plant. And after the recycling process is complete, the containers are transported by road to storage. When the port requires a container for export, for example, the foldable containers return by short sea shipping to the CY, ready for export. From there, they are transported by road back to the port and finally shipped by sea to the final client. And once at the recycling plant, blockchain technology is integrated to securely track each step, enabling continuous information flow. All this approach ensures a smooth, efficient, and well-organized logistic process from start to finish. Then I'm going to talk about the manufacturing process. So we will see the overall process to create the foldable containers in our recycling plant. We start with the step one, so the material preparation, where we use either traditional recycled containers or raw materials to begin the process. In step two, the cutting and shaping of components, pieces are cut and formed, so using the either recycling plant or raw materials to create the component of our foldable containers. In step three, the assembly of subcomponents, the container, the pieces are welded together as shown on our slide on the right to form the structure of each container. The step 4, finishing and surface treatment, involves making each container waterproof and applying paint for branding or color. And after that, in step 5, the quality testing and control, each container is carefully inspected to ensure it meets our standards. Finally, in the last step, the blockchain integration and shipping, each container is assigned a unique blockchain token, and this token allows for a smooth transfer to the container ownership between parties. Once all steps are completed, the foldable containers are ready for shipping.
So now let's go deeper into the blockchain technology. Our blockchain solution transforms container management in Africa, providing secure, transparent, and efficient logistics. The principal key features are lifecycle tracking. Each container journey is recorded, ensuring full visibility from creation to recycling. Responsibility transfer. A simple mobile application allows operator to transfer container responsibility by exchanging tokens, ensuring reliable traceability and reducing delays. A decentralized platform. A decentralized system makes the data secure and accessible across all stakeholders, building trust and transparency. Data security and integrity. Blockchain technology guarantees that all records are safe and tamper-proof, making each transaction auditable. And the cost reduction, automation and efficient data sharing cut administrative costs, enhancing competitiveness for African logistics. So the benefits to the supply chain are the enhance of the visibility with a real-time tracking, which improve operational efficiency and responsiveness, a better decision-making with an access to accurate timeline data allows for more strategic, cost-effective decisions, and a sustainable practices with an efficient recycling tracking promotes sustainability aligning with UN development goals. As you can see on the right side of this slide, you can see all the information that you could have on the mobile application. So you have all the different steps of the supply chain, the origin, the name of the exporter, importer, the location, the name of the warehouse, the custom currency, and obviously all the information about the customer. In brief, our blockchain solution not only enhances logistics efficiency, but also sets a new standard for sustainable, transparent container management in Africa. Regarding the UN SDG, our solution aligns strongly with several of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, driving meaningful impact in key areas. First, we have the SDG number 1. By creating jobs and reducing logistical costs, we contribute to poverty alleviation, helping communities thrive economically. The number 3, our sustainable practices lower CO2 emission, leading to cleaner air and healthier living conditions in affected regions. Number 8, by establishing recycling facilities and promoting local manufacturing, we create quality jobs, fueling economic growth. Number 12, our recycling and life cycle tracking encourage efficient resource use, aligning with sustainable consumption and production. Number 13, affordable containers and optimized logistics significantly reduce emissions, directly contributing to climate action. And the number 16, blockchain ensure traceability and transparency, fostering trust across all participants and building stronger institutions. In addition to primary goals, our initiative also indirectly supports several other SDGs. The number 2, job creation, help reduce hunger by raising household incomes. Number 4, we offer training on recycling processes and blockchain, equipping the workforce with new skills. Number 5, our project promotes inclusivity, ensuring equal access to jobs and training in logistics and tech sectors. Number 6, our efficient logistics model cuts pollution, indirectly promoting and protecting water resources. Number 7, by optimizing logistics and reducing energy consumption, we contribute to more affordable and sustainable energy use. Number 9, this solution fosters innovation in logistics, promoting sustainable industrialization. Number 10, our decentralized platform improve access to resources, helping reduce regional disparities. Number 11, by reducing congestion, we improve quality of life in port cities. Number 14, our sustainable practices help protect our ecosystem, both in marine and territorial environments. Number 15, we contribute to land preservation by reducing waste and promoting efficient recycling practices, protecting territorial ecosystem. And the number 17, this project fosters partnerships across nations, driving collective progress toward a sustainable future. And the conclusion, as we conclude, let's look at the transformative potential of this solution for the logistics industry. A new era for container management. Our approach redefines container management in Africa, tackling long-standing challenges and creating new possibilities. Innovative technologies through foldable container and blockchain, we are enhancing efficiency, transparency, and sustainability across the entire supply chain. We also support global goals by aligning with UN Sustainable Development Goals. We're not only improving logistics, but also contributing to global priorities like climate action, economic growth, and responsible production. Future-ready ports, our solution helps African ports become more resilient and adaptable to future demands, making them competitive and sustainable. And engagement opportunity, by choosing a project, you're supporting a solution that's both visionary and actionable. This project directly addresses real challenges in container logistics while advancing sustainability. And as you can see on the right side, we have different versus current container versus foldable containers, and we have the reduction of the space needed, fivefold increase in empty container exports at once, road transport expenses slashed by 46%. We also have decreased the ending time by 25%, and we have 20% less CO2 emitted during manufacturing process and 12% less CO2 emission during the transport. So thank you for your attention. And do you have any question?
Thank you, group. Great job. And so we'll go now to the question period, like you just said. Judges, do you have any questions for the group?
Yes, I have question. Can I ask question?
Sorry,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes. First of all, thank you for interesting presentation. So I have questions. Have you considered how the concept of circular economy could be applied to empty containers to minimize their environmental and economic impact at African ports? So as you mentioned, the innovation economy, also circular economy is related to innovation economy.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Can you repeat?
So,
I'm sorry.
have you considered how the
Yeah.
concept of circular economy could be applied to empty containers to minimize their environmental and economic impact at African ports?
Yes, it can be, because we
Mhm.
can reduce the CO2 emission by 25%, like I said just on the last slide. So with the road
Mhm.
transportation, we have approximately 12% fewer CO2 emission during transport. It's because we can transport five empty container at once at the same time. So it's very different from the old school container, the current containers that are used um, by the freight forwarder or consignee right now. So yeah,
Mhm. Okay. Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Mhm.
So are there any more questions?
Could I ask some questions about slide 6
Slide 6. Yes, sure.
to make sure that's number 3, I think. The one that has 6
Oh,
at
you
the
mean
top.
the blockchain? I think so.
Blockchain technology.
Yeah, but I was interested in the on the right-hand side to make sure I understand
Yes.
what the process is. So I think what this is, I'm not sure how this whole cycle would work. The recycling plant is in Namibia, right? And then
Yeah.
an exporter somewhere else in Africa needs a container. It says cocoa beans, so maybe Ghana or someplace like that. So how would you get the containers from Namibia to Ghana? It's pretty far, isn't it? A couple thousand miles?
We
Uh,
can get the containers there by road transportation, because we can just we plan to have some different warehouse for the foldable container at this point. And then when a port need a container, we can just use a road transportation to take the container from the warehouse to the port, and then it can be shipped everywhere in the world. But the blockchain technology is different. You can have all the information on your mobile application,
Right.
but it don't say, okay, you have this transportation by this way. It's the port in Africa need to contact the warehouse to get a container, a foldable container, instead of a old school container like they're using right now.
Okay, so and then there are other, I don't want to get into too much detail, but it seems like there are other movements that need to take place from the port of export to, let's say, Belgium, and then from Belgium to wherever the container might be needed to go back to Africa, and then it would have to be folded and unfolded at various points. So have you considered the energy consumption that would be required to do that, and the carbon emissions and the cost of this system? Putting aside the blockchain, I'm just looking at the physical movements here.
You mean for
Yes.
the foldable? Okay, Nicholas, if you want to go.
No, go on, go on.
No, I was just asking, like, you mean the process of foldable to containers, or all
Well, there are a
the
lot of physical processes involved here. There's the recycling, there's the folding and unfolding, there's the repositioning of the folded containers to the place where they're needed, and then, of course, the transportation, which, from port of export to port of import. And then there are other processes at that destination end to refold and then reposition and so on. So all of those physical processes have both a cost and a carbon emissions and other environmental impacts. And I was wondering if you had taken those into account in your proposal, or how you would account for that.
In our CO2 emission, we took it into account. But currently, when you use a container, the old school one, let's name this like this, and you also have transport cost, you also have transport emission, because when it's in the port, you need to have a road transportation from the port to the CY, to the container yard. And then when you need again this container, you have another one transportation from the CY to the port. So it's almost the same, because right now you can, with our solution, you can have this same amount of road transportation logistical, but then you have a short sea shipping to the recycling plant. And in the future, we can imagine that we can use the recycling plant on the coast to directly ship the container to the client. So use the recycling plant as a port, or to be part of the port. I don't know if it's clear for you, but I don't have any process to show you, but we can imagine a lot of things, because actually we have a lot of congestion in ports, and a recycling plant can be used to ship the container more efficiency, more quickly. I don't know if it's answer to your question. Is it clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any more questions? No? Okay. Also like to add, in addition, that Mr. Michael Warwood, who's the managing director of loss prevention at TTT Club, will also be a judge. They'll be judging this offline. I want to thank you. I want to thank the group for your presentation and great job. And thank you very much. We'll end it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.